Oh.
We always do. I guess we're nobody.
Oh, hush.
I mean, it's, you eliminated the front row over there because no one ever sat, so.
I just started putting up chairs. I didn't know what I was doing.
Move things around a little bit, shake things up a little bit.
This woman that I met for a hike yesterday told me how she went to a class, an exercise class at, I don't know if there's this Lifetime Fitness or somewhere. And she goes in and found the spot, you know, okay, I'll stand here or, you know, for the class. And this guy comes over to her and says, "That's my spot."
Yeah, right.
Sorry, didn't show your name.
Yeah,
I can see doing that in jest.
yeah, no, he was
but-
serious. He
Yeah,
was-
yeah. Well, you know, maybe he's on the spectrum or something.
It'd be hard not to laugh out loud. I mean, I'd just be so taken aback. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like to laugh at someone.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Seriously? Yeah.
Yeah.
My students always laugh at people.
It's
just really helpful for me as a teacher, I can remember their names. So
Yeah.
I actually tease them when they move once in a while to a different spot. I'm like, you're screwing up my system here. I gotta go. What time is it? 27. I guess I'll cut.
I almost always sit in the back because it's like elevated, so it's stop easily. And yeah, and so like when the back is full, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's I don't know what. Yeah, so I mean, I mentioned it, because I don't know what really what it is. There's gotta be something. Oh, okay. All right. All this in case. Right now. Oh,
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that. My brother.
There's not.
I don't know if it's lazy or just serendipity, but I've never printed off everyone put it in here. I really like the picture. Let's sing together Spirit of Life, number 123. I will play through it and then we'll sing it once, one time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to all who are here with us face to face and all of those who are joining us online. All of you are truly welcome in this space, virtual or otherwise. I'd also like to take a moment to specifically welcome Barbara. She is here with us today. We're very happy. And by the way, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bryan. My pronouns are he, him. Forgot that part. So many familiar faces, I forget to say that part. Just a couple of reminders that we don't take an offering for those people that are visitors. We just have a plate in the back, and if you decide that you'd like to give, feel free to do so. And we also have a way to give online on our website. A couple of different ways now, actually. So we just want to make sure we make that announcement. Our next service, unlike the email that I sent out to a group of people, is September the 8th rather than August the 8th, which is behind us. I just want to kind of, I know that I'm going to have this probably composed in a little blurb that's going to go out in MailChimp, but just to kind of give you an overview preliminarily of September. Welcome Back Sunday is September the 8th. That's our first service back in the regular church year. And then the next Sunday is the 15th, and that's when we're going to have our friend Sana come and speak about transformation. Welcome Sunday, which is the Sunday before that, is more about the going back and revisiting what it means to be radically hospitable to our world. And then September the 22nd, which is the third Sunday, we're going to have 4 Sundays in September of church, so we have 5 Sundays total in September. We don't have church Labor Day weekend. September the 22nd is going to be water ritual, water ceremony, water communion Sunday. More information will come about that. If you have questions, if you're new, we would love to talk to you about that. And then September the 29th is going to be Rally Sunday, which is our formal, welcome, hey, we're getting started for the church year. And to that end, for those of you that do obviously know that we finally bought a farm and we're settling in, on Rally Sunday, September the 29th, after church, we're going to welcome everyone to our new farm if you want to drive an hour and come and be a part of that. So that'll give us enough time to get prepared and all that. We'll have lots of goodies and treats and vegan stuff too. But you'll get more information about all of that. But I thought, since we only meet once in a while in the summer, I wanted to give you a snapshot of how busy and wonderful September seems to be coming together. Any other announcements that people might like to share with the community this morning?
Nothing about the council retreat, no. Yeah, the council is meeting, having a retreat next weekend at the Grindelands Cabin in Wisconsin. It's a little over an hour away, and anybody is welcome to come for all or part of it. And the retreat meeting itself will be 10 o'clock-ish on Saturday the 17th until early afternoon or something. But just let me or Kathy know if you're interested in coming along and seeing how the sausage is made.
Or just have any issues, if you have any issues or anything, you can let us know today or
Sure.
bring it up before that next weekend and, so we can approach it, so.
And if you don't wanna have anything to do with the meeting, you can come on Sunday, we'll be there till Tuesday, so.
Okay.
You can come Sunday, Monday, whatever you wanna do,
Right.
just let us know.
Awesome.
State primaries are on Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
Look who's on your ballot.
Right.
Make an informed decision.
What a good idea.
Excellent. Any others? Well, with that then, what I'd like to do is ask you to gather yourself as much as possible and center ourselves. Take a deep breath and try to separate from all of the chaos of the world for just these few brief moments this morning together, and let us meditate to this musical prelude.
Me too.
You can stand up.
So if you would join me in the opening words as we light the chalice this morning. At this hour, in small towns and big cities, in single rooms and ornate sanctuaries, many of our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations are also lighting a flaming chalice.
We join our hearts to the one great flame of bright compassion, beloved community, and fervent justice.
As we light our chalice today, let us remember that we are part of a great community of faith.
In that same spirit, may we become lanterns to the world, lighting the way for all.
May this dancing flame inspire us to fill our lives with the Unitarian Universalist ideals of love, justice, and truth.
In igniting this chalice, we cast upon it our hopes and intentions for all that is positive in our minds and in our hearts. May this precious light shine on.
This is yet another day when we celebrate new beginnings, new dreams, new possibilities.
May we open our hearts, our minds, and our congregations to all who would be wanderers and wanderers, embracing them with love.
In the spirit of love and new beginnings, we light this chalice as a community, and we say together, may the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal with love, to help with compassion, to bless with joy, to serve you, Spirit of freedom, in the fullness of community.
Usually we stand for our first hymn, but since the words are written on the screen and there's a lot of people here, for which we're very grateful, let's remain seated so we can all see the words. And it is, this is a day of new beginnings.
I will play through it, and then we'll sing the 3 verses together.
Friends, we pause now during our service to acknowledge that we now stand and sit upon the traditional territories of the indigenous people, the Dakota, for whom this very county and congregation are named, and at least 10 other tribes of Native people throughout the current borders of the state of Minnesota. Over hundreds of years, Native communities across the Americas have demonstrated resilience and resistance in the face of violent efforts to separate them from their land, culture, and each other. Today, Indigenous people remain at the forefront of the movements to protect Mother Earth and the life she sustains, along with the preservation of their own human cultures and traditions. We acknowledge that it is critical to be an active part of public intervention, taking necessary steps toward honoring Indigenous communities and enacting the much larger project of decolonization and reconciliation. May this weekly acknowledgement be not only a reminder, but even more so, an inspirational call to action, to work, to ensure whatever reparations are possible can be carried out throughout this ancient, holy land that we all now call home.
At this time during the service, we invite you, if you feel so moved, to come forward and share a joy and/or concern, or more than one, and feel free to light a candle from the chalice in honor of that joy and/or concern. And at the end, I'll light a final candle for all of those unspoken joys and concerns.
Hello, as becomes tradition. Ooh, we have more colors now. I go first. So I've got a couple of joys, and I just like fire. Fire's joyful. I'm not going to take this as a sign or anything. I'm just going to go with I didn't light it long enough. So as I shared before, I had, oh, now we're just cross-contaminating wax and everything, but it's definitely lit. I shared I lost my job. Well, I started a new one. So I wasn't sure if I could if I shared that before, but I was gone bereaved last time because I had a family vacation. So I'm always going to miss that week because that's the week that's always my family vacation. But very happy to be back. So that was 2 of them. Also, I got my hair refreshed, so I'm properly space cat colored again. And I have not, let's see, turned my face purple or blue, I don't think. So I think we're good on that front. Just really happy to be back, and I'm going to go grab my name tag.
Well, our daughter Emily, who was with us most of the summer, has sadly left and gone back to her home in Urbana, Illinois. But joyfully, she completed her internship in chaplaincy and got her little certificate, and they had a nice little ceremony, and that was nice. Without getting political in a church environment, I just felt like about 3 weeks ago, stress just kind of started to lift away. I don't know what it was.
Agreed.
Should we do a waltz, maybe?
Waltz?
There's a writing assignment for you. Waltz for 10.
So this is a concern for our kids, Dan, Steph, and Annabelle, who are also members of the church, but they made the hard decision to put down one of their dogs and had to follow through with that, and it's been rough on all of them.
Well, I just want to announce, and I'm happy about this, we're finally getting the, I am now the sound healer at the YMCA in Burnsville, and we're going to have tomorrow demos that are free, 2 sessions of sound healing, and I have 8 crystal singing bowls from which to work that the Y provides. So the session times are 12:45 to 1:20 and 1:30 to 2:05, and you can just show up for either of those times.
this week is actually, my friend Ash was asking me about my church that I go to, which is just like an open and affirming Lutheran place, and said like she's not really like super, or they're not really super religious, but like kind of wanted a spiritual thing. And I was like, actually, you should look at Unitarian Universalism. And I got to come out here with her, so, or with them, I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, thought that was cool.
Welcome.
Glad to hear it.
A couple months ago, I understand.
So after a bit more than a year, I finished my Hello Work training program. And so at this point, I am a structural integrator. So helping people feel better in their bodies, all that good stuff. And school's not quite done. I'm going to be doing the associate's program. So I have about 2 more semesters before I'm like done with the computer homework, which I was kind of looking forward to, but I thought this was a good move, so, yeah, so.
Congratulations.
I better hurry before there are no candles left.
There's lots of candles.
Yeah, there are.
We've had that problem. Just gonna light one for my beautiful sweet son that came back from a trip recently, safely. That's it.
I'm gonna light one for my brother, who is very religious in not the religion we were raised in, but still very Christian. And I told him that I was no longer, and he still said that to him Christianity is unconditional love. And I came out as non-binary to him, and he says no matter what our family does, he accepts and loves me. So.
So yesterday, my orchestra, East Metro Symphony, we had like a pre-season potluck meeting, and also I will be the new personal manager for that whole organization. Wow. So I'm little, join the concert. I've never done that before. And my job is to make sure every rehearsal, musicians, you have see if I don't have musicians, I have to find alternatives. So it's gonna be a new experience, but go for it. And also another concern is right now the car we had broken, so we right now have a rental car, and Bruce gonna fly to New York maybe this Thursday. They drive a car there back to here. So hope that whole drama of the broken car will solve in a safe way.
If I can add one more thing. Sorry. This is Sherry online. I wrote an article and submitted it to my hometown newspaper, and it got published. So that's my joy. And at the time, it was a little bit of a concern. Thank you.
This one's for you, Sherry.
Thank you.
I'm going to first light a candle. I could give thanks for so many things right now in my life, but today what's on my mind is I'm so glad that Barbara's here to share this time with us, and that I get to spend time with Barbara this week. It's a joy because it is because of our relationship that I ended up coming here, and we are, I'm not gonna get emotional. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And now I will light a final candle for all those joys and concerns that remain unspoken. May we know that whatever befalls us in life, we are held in the loving embrace of this community. And now we say together for all these joys and concerns, both spoken and unspoken,
we hold you in our hearts.
So I am a little emotional today. So bear with me as we get through this, because this is exactly what I need. Today's reflective reading is A Prayer for Hope by Christian Green. Spirit of love and truth, help us to feel you in our breathing in and breathing out. Quiet our minds, even if only for a moment. Still our bodies, even if only for a moment. Soothe our souls in this holy moment. When uncertainty pervades, give us rest from worry. When fear rises, give us peace. When pain surfaces, give us balm. Some of our spirits are so weary, some of our bodies feel fried. Some of our minds feel frantic and uneasy. How long will this last? We ask in desperation. Spirit of life-giving love, remind us of the cycles of life so that we might turn toward the dawn, turn toward the thaw, and turn toward the rebirth of spring and new hope. Make that hope alive in us, O Holy One. Ignite that hope so it burns brighter than our fears, and may that bright hope shine for others to witness, that our faith might be a beacon and our love a lamp to light the way. O luminous Spirit, fill us with gratitude as we turn toward one another in the human family, never alone on our journeys, always reminded of a greater love that holds all. Blessed be, may it be so, and amen.
I wasn't planning on being emotional, but, you know, I don't like people to cry alone. Wow, a lot has gone on in the last month since some of us have been together. But before I start talking about hope, if you've not figured out that's kind of the theme today, speaking of hope, just take a moment and look around. Isn't this amazing? The joy and hope is alive right here within all of us, and I'm forever grateful. We're really glad to be able to come together during the summer, and one of the things that has struck me, without getting political, is that hope seems to be a common theme within the last few weeks. And I'm here for it. I hope that you all are here for it as well. And I'm not just talking about politically, but also, you know, my lifelong dream has recently come true. And as I was sitting in my backyard, which is 4 acres, watching 2 geese that I was given, I never owned geese before, but they say since we live next door to a 1,000-acre wildlife area, we might need some guardian geese. Because geese are, I mean, they're friendly to us, but you know.
They know who feeds them.
I saw even a squirrel come by, and they were like, "Oh, not in this pasture." So I'm like, oh, "Okay, we're good," because chickens, you know, are kind of aloof. And for those of you that do not know, I'm a chicken freak, and that's one of the reasons why we got a farm. But the hope that I have felt in this congregation is really the focus of what I want to talk about. We talked about last month a day of new beginnings. So for those of you that were here, yes, it's a little bit repetitive, but you know, over the summer, it's time for us to do things like council retreats and to think about the next church year, because for those of you that don't know, for those of you that are new, a lot of things happened this past church year for Dakota UU. We did a lot of fun things and we grew. It was my first year here as the pastor of the congregation. And we not only grew numerically, but I feel that this congregation has grown in so many different ways, and I right along with everyone. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And so as we look forward to the next church year, this is a month of final planning. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to plan during the regular church year, but there's a lot of stuff we have planned going on. The center of it, though, is hope. I know with the goings-on around the world on any given day, it's hard, very difficult sometimes, to maintain hope. We hear adages like hope springs eternal, and we hear things like, well, hope is alive. But you know, the only reason why hope springs eternal and why hope is alive is because of us. There are people who believe in the goodness of humanity and the goodness and the importance of Mother Earth and taking care of each other, actually doing things in the world that make a difference. We do so many things from day in and day out that are sort of mundane. I mean, we have to get up and, brush our teeth. I'm not sure that everybody considers that mundane, but it's not my most exciting moment of the day, but I pretty much need to brush my teeth, right? Don't we do that? And we do all kinds of things. Many of us go to work, and, we don't always have the most joyous day at work. I love what I do, teaching, but, it is teaching, and students do things that get on my nerves sometimes, right? Right, Kelly? Others that are teachers. But at the same time, we go through life's journey, and we have to hold on to something. And for me, that central message for today is to hold on to hope. Hope is a really interesting thing because it has a lot of possibilities, yet it is also quite a nebulous concept. Because it's like, okay, maybe this will happen, maybe this won't. It's almost like parallel to eternal optimism. But, for those of us that are not always eternal optimists, sometimes optimists get on our nerves too. But at the same time, it's fuel for the fire of moving forward and thinking about the possibilities that can come from being together in a group like this and moving forward and inviting people into our midst, sometimes without using any words at all. I mean, when I was a Christian minister for 25 years, so I've been through that route. And I would always hear the adage that, go ye therefore and spread the gospel, but use words only when necessary. And I forget which Christian theologian said that. Where's Emily? Because she would know that. But she's fresh out of seminary, so she would know that. But the gospel that we carry with us is the idea of love. And a love that's so open and accepting that no one is turned away. That we see in each and every person who walks through this door, and even people that don't walk through this door, who are out in the world who need us, we see in them eternal possibilities of hope. That we believe in the goodness of humanity so much so that even sometimes the most challenging people in the world within whom we are very challenged to see hope. We know that there's hope somewhere, that there's always some way of reconciliation. There's some way to move forward, no matter how hard it is for us to see that. And in this congregation, the kind of love that we have and that we spread goes beyond sometimes our own imagination. My example for that is the mortgage broker that we worked with throughout this process of buying the farm said after it was all said and done, she was there at the closing, she's like, I waited until this moment after closing to tell you this. I want to come to your church. And it was only through the process of how she witnessed, not just us, but how the congregation supported us, through all of that, said, I didn't even know there was a church like that. You mean I don't really have to believe in a particular thing to come to your church? I said, you don't have to believe in anything other than coming and being a part is something that's worth doing, right? I mean, that's really it. This is what Unitarian Universalism is about. Now, she would have been here today. She texted me this morning. This is how much it's on her mind. She texted me this morning. She did a 241-mile bicycle race yesterday. Oh, 20 hours, right? And she still got up this morning and texted me and said, I really wish that I had the energy to come to church. Now, I say that not to tout her. I mean, she's an amazing human being. I have no doubt. I'm working with her for over a month, every day, trying to get paperwork done. But that's what she is thinking about because of the light that she witnessed through the lives of the three of us and everybody else that was involved in helping us acquire this farm project. And it's also the vision of the farm project to do restorative, regenerative agriculture, and she believes in that. And she's like, there are actually churches that care about the environment. I'm like, yes, there are. In fact, I know one right now that you could think about. And she doesn't live but about 5 miles from here, so no excuses, right? But I didn't evangelize. It just was me showing what I do and what we do and the kind of hope that we live in this community. And how people will welcome us, not just with a smiling face in the Minnesota nice way, but in a really nice way, that we really care about you. So for those of you that are here today for the very first time, we really mean this. We care about you. And we want people to feel like that they are a part of this. It may not be a place for everyone. If somebody is a really doctrinally devout Christian, this might not be the right place for you. But we would still love you and accept you if you want to be a part of it, right? You know, there may be people in here that might be atheists. And guess what? Amazing! That's wonderful. Hope is alive right here. And if the numbers of people in the middle of summer who come here aren't proof enough, our lives, the three of us who just came together and started this farm project that we've dreamt for decades of doing, and the emotions and love that we see all around us because we feel the Spirit moving through all of us together in this community. So, I know you already had a reading, but I have another. And because this is such a musical congregation, I figured that if I read some words from Paul McCartney, you might be okay with it. Channeling my internal Beatles thing, right? This is a song that a lot of people probably don't know unless you're musicians. But I just want to read the verses. I'm not going to sing, so you're all in luck. Okay? This is verse 1. Some hope for a future, some wait for the call, to say that the days ahead will be the best of all. And then the refrain, I'll go back to verses in a second, is, we will build bridges up to the sky, heavenly light surrounding you and I. Verse 2, From out of the darkness, our future will come. If we leave the past behind, we'll fly beyond the sun. Refrain again. We'll be together sharing the load, watching in wonder as our lives unfold. Hope for the future, it's coming soon enough. How much can we achieve? Hope for the future, it will belong to us if we believe. If we believe. Hope shines brightest in the dark when nothing's ever seen, lighting undiscovered places no one's ever been. Some hope for the future, some wait for the call to say that our destiny will lead the best of all. We will build bridges up to the sky and heavenly lights surrounding you and I. Hope for the future. Hope shines brightest in the dark, where nothing's ever seen, lighting undiscovered places no one's ever been. And that's where I will give you my final thought. No one's ever been in our future. No one could have possibly imagined, well, I mean, I guess you could. Don't make me pull out the lyrics to Imagine, because we can do that, right? Real easily. I could just keep reading song lyrics for the whole time. But no one, I believe, didn't quite imagine what the past church year was going to be like. Those of you that were here remember the winter solstice service when I think we almost broke fire marshal code with all the people in here, when yet again Barbara and I were there to lead and everybody participated. It was really awesome. So this light of hope that's inside all of us, and this light of hope that's unified through this powerful spirit of the congregation together, no matter what you believe, no matter who you are, no matter what your pronouns are, no matter what anything is, we are shining a light on undiscovered places. We have all kinds of possibilities ahead of us. And let's not be scared of what might be. Let's only continue to embrace the hope of undiscovered places that we are lighting a path toward in this congregation, to be able to build a new future together, not only as a faith community, but also to get out and do good stuff for people that we believe in, to help regenerate and heal Mother Earth as much as we possibly can, to embrace the hope of our nation and our worldwide community, to try to be better, to bring back joy in politics as much as we can. Politics isn't always joyful, but as much as we can, a smile. And, also kind of at some point embrace the idea of, we love you, we love all people. And guess what? We're going to mind our own damn business, to quote some politician. But at the same time, instead of doing things where we're trying to restrict your rights or trying to put extra laws on your bodies as women or any of those things, we turn it around. We embrace hope and we say, we love you. We care about you. We care about your future. We care about what you need in order to thrive in this world community, in this local community. And we look forward to building more and more bridges, lighting undiscovered places as we move forward together in joy and in hope. Blessed be.
Okay, I need to make a correction. I did not write this piece. It's Edvard Eldar who wrote it. I want to give credit where credit is due. It's not my piece. All right. Whoops, we're not on again. Sorry, every time. I'm not used to doing that because I have I don't know. Okay, so here we go.
So this is a time during our service together that we open up for conversation and discussion and questions. And before you ask the question, no, Barbara and I did not consult on what we were gonna wear today. This is just the way that it worked out, so. That was just a point of humor to get us transitioned into a time of reflection.
Well, I think one thing that gives me hope with this group is the way people have stepped up to take on tasks to keep everything going and to make things happen, from the music to the tech and the service order and all of that stuff.
Amen. And we're now live streaming on 2 platforms, soon to be 3. So look at us continuing to grow.
So I think that, you know, with hope that we can feed on past hopes, that if you look back in the history, I mean, you know, 100 years, 20 years, whatever, and you can see things that we take for granted now. And so let's feed on that. It's been successful, you know? I just had a family thing. Got together with my brother and my sister recently, and we looked up my grandfather's aunt, okay, and we Googled her. And sure enough, she's there. She was a suffragette.
Wow.
Her father was a Confederate captain, I think. And she, in the early part of the 20th century, dismissed Sons of the Confederacy, you know, so it was just kind of like, yeah, that's why I'm voting, you know, thanks to her. So just thought I'd say.
My great-great-aunt was a bootlegger, so. Wow.
And that's why I drink.
One of the things that I think really touched on this morning in the lyrics of "If We Just Believe." I remember the first sermon I ever preached was at All Souls Unitarian Universalist in New London, Connecticut, and it was over Thanksgiving weekend because most ministers take Thanksgiving weekend off, so somebody's got to come in, and she was like, "Go ahead, go do it." And that was the kind of the theme, was belief, and that we need something to hold on to as we go through this life, right? And a young woman who also had 4 children, like I did, we used to get together and have play dates and everything. She came up to me afterwards because she was really touched by the music, and we had a conversation. And then she's like, you know, I've never really considered myself much of a believer. And I said, why do you come here? She says, oh, I love the community, I love the people, we do such good things, da da da. You know, she's going on, and I said, sounds to me like you're a believer. And she goes, I'm gonna have to go home and think about that. And she gave me a hug and left. And so, for me, that is the hope that Unitarian Universalism and those of us that attend and that go out into the world, we can spread that hope that belief means many different things. And it's no less valuable if it, you know, to all the different things that it means. Those things are still just as valuable, whether they're a Christian belief or a humanist belief or an atheist. They're still valuable, and they're still what we need to hold on to.
Years ago, I asked one of our consulting minister at the time, I talked about the word belief, and I said, you know, in a what's the word, secular context, it's such a different word than in a religious context. And I said, I don't know quite how to think about it. She said, well, my chat group of ministers were just talking about that thing, and we just landed on, in whom or what do you trust? So, that's a good way to think about it.
Those two comments remind me of a quote from one of my very favorite shows, Firefly. Shepherd book, it's one of the main characters, and there's a part in the series where he's like, why is it every time something to the effect of, why is it every time I talk about belief, you think I'm talking about God? I don't care what you believe as long as you believe it. I'm paraphrasing mostly there, but between Barbara's and this Chuck, thank you, last comment there, that just really kind of seemed to come up for me there.
I find the message of hope really really pertinent and helpful. I have really bad anxiety, so I often imagine the worst things happening. So it's very nice to think we don't know our future, and we've never imagined it correctly. So it could be anything.
And with that profound statement, thank you. As I'm always inclined to say, we have refreshments after service, and we can continue these conversations at that time as well. So what I'd like to do is invite you at this time to join us in our closing hymn, which is 121, right? Did I get that right? I didn't open my book yet.
121, yes.
Yeah, oh, good.
I hope so.
And since it's in our hymn book, we can stand if you're able and sing this together.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna play through it because we have new people here, so here we go.
this space to whatever space is next for you, I invite you to build bridges, to dream dreams, to embrace hope, to shine your light in the undiscovered places, and to join together in this universal light of faith and love that we embrace as a congregation and as a community. Go in peace. And as we move towards extinguishing the chalice, I invite you to sing with us the chorus. We sing it twice, so it's actually 4 verses through, and it's called "We Are Sending You Light."
Okay, we're gonna play through the melody, then we'll sing it together, and then we'll play it more robustly. We'll do it in unison when we sing it. So we'll play through the melody. Here we go. Ready?
We have buttons. If you want a DUUC button, you can wear a button out in public. And I've been learning bits and pieces of music theory on YouTube. Like secondary dominance and tritones, substitution, stuff that I didn't really know about.
Yeah, tritone. Yeah.
With my background. Piano or guitar, so it's been pretty like 3 or 4 chords. Graham's chair.
Yeah, Here's the bell.